I'm Mark Sullivan. I'm the general manager here of our Kansas City cluster, and Bill Hansen shot me an email and asked me if we were still using the "that's exactly why I'm calling" rebuttal when we encounter objections on the phone when we're setting appointments. And the reality is, of course, we use a lot of answers when somebody gives us that objection to coming out and seeing them. But exactly why I'm calling is a really effective one, and I had to laugh when I saw the email because the answer is yes, we do still use it. And for the sales organization, it's almost a punchline. Often when one of the managers asks somebody something or one of the other sales reps, I'll hear them say, well, that's exactly why I'm calling. Because it is so effective. You really can use it in virtually any situation to just about any objection that we hear. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call my VP of Sales, John Schweitzer, on the phone, and we're going to set this up for you, and then he's going to hit me with a number of objections that are common ones that we hear. Obviously, you wouldn't use this to the same person in the same call to every objection they may give you, but rather than setting up 4 or 5 or 6 different scenarios, we're just going to use the same one and have him give me the objection, then I'll hit him with "that's exactly why I'm calling," as if it were a different call and a different client. So here we go. John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let's pretend you are Mr. Schweitzer, which you are, but let's pretend that you're at the jewelry store or somewhere like that, and I'm calling you up on the phone to set an appointment. Good?
Okay.
All righty. So, hey, John, this is Mark Sullivan calling from 101 The Fox here in town, and I'm following up on the letter that I sent you last week in regards to some exciting opportunities and ideas that I have here at the radio station that I really think can help you grow your business in 2014 by accessing our 400,000 plus community of listeners that are going to spend over $100 million on jewelry. And I was wondering if I could come and see you next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, perhaps?
Well, I don't know. We really don't do radio at this time.
Well, that's exactly why I'm calling, John. I specialize in working with companies that indicate that they don't do radio. And the reality is that we're so much more than a radio company. Although that is our primary medium, we also offer on-site events, social media outlets. We have a huge digital component, online listening, and we're even into publications. And I think if you could give me 30 minutes of your time, I could show you how you could tap into this community of listeners and motivate this spending power that we have. Would Tuesday or Wednesday be good for you?
Well, no. It sounds interesting what you're saying, but we don't even have a budget right now anyway.
It's interesting you say that because I specialize in working with companies that don't have a budget specifically set aside for radio. Our company has been, really, really instrumental in growing the business of companies just like yours in your space. And I'd like to come out and talk to you about that because, again, we specialize in working with companies that don't have a budget.
Well, and the reason we don't have a budget really is because we've got all the business we can handle right now. I would be afraid to put any advertising anywhere because if we drew more business in, we wouldn't be able to handle it.
Well, that's funny because that's exactly why I'm calling. Is we've got more business than we can handle right now as well, and it's the perfect time when you and I can get together, talk about marketing plans in the future, maybe when things might slow down for both of us, and that way we can make a reasonable and rational decision on our marketing plans rather than doing something out of haste, maybe when there's a tremendous need. Can I come see you Tuesday or Wednesday?
It really isn't a good time right now, and really I've never even heard of the station you're talking about, I don't believe.
Well, that's exactly why I'm calling, is I'm going to be up in your area on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and I thought maybe we could get together. I could introduce you to my radio station and our company and all of the offerings we have. And the reality is, a little over 450,000 people a week listen to my station. So although perhaps you haven't been encountered it yet or heard of it, I've got a huge community of listeners that spend close to $100 million in jewelry every year. I think if we got together, it'd be worth your time. Would Tuesday or Wednesday work for you?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think you mentioned that it's KCFX, the Fox. I think we did some business with you guys some time ago, and I'd have to look back into my records, but I think it really got screwed up pretty badly.
Well, that's exactly why I'm calling you today. My company has empowered me to go back through our customer base and look for opportunities, perhaps where a client didn't have the kind of experience that's really representative of our company. And I really specialize in working with businesses like yours, going in and trying to retrofit maybe what happened, or re-engineer what happened, I should say, and then make it right for you. And then once we can make it right of what happened in the past, we can look to the future, because we got so many great opportunities here. And I think you'd really be missing the boat if you didn't at least hear about those. Maybe I could come see you Tuesday or Wednesday, and we could work on the process of making things right.
Well, you're nothing if you're not persistent, so I guess I can spend a few minutes with you, and sometime Tuesday would work.
Great, I'll see you at 2 p.m. That's exactly why I'm calling.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, you get the idea there that no matter what John says, and again, in that scenario, each of those common objections that we hear would be given, obviously, at the front end as we asked for the interview. You couldn't say that's exactly why I'm calling. I guess you could to each one if the client wrote out 4 or 5. But no matter what they say, that's exactly why I'm calling can be a great rebuttal. And I encourage you to try it a couple of times. I enjoy adding the I specialize in that to it. It certainly helps me along, and I encourage you to give it a shot. Hopefully it works for you.